The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau has been shut down by President Trump.
Well, we saw what happened in the years leading up to the financial crisis, mortgages that were setting people up to fail, and it crashed the economy.
They'll laugh at you until reality hits. Then suddenly, you're not the fool. You're the only one who saw it coming. But this isn't about being right or wrong. It's about being ready. In 2023, we witnessed the most catastrophic wave of bank failures in modern history.
America's banking crisis. 2 banks have gone bust, 2 major banks back to back. They failed over the weekend.
In 2024, economic instability tightened its grip, inflation soared, and entire financial systems cracked under pressure.
Across the country, people are paying more for everyday expenses.
Everything is... I'm blown away.
Now it's 2020. The question isn't if the next collapse is coming, it's when. And when that moment arrives, your dollars won't mean a thing. What will you do when stores are empty, power grids fail, and desperation takes over? You either have what you need or you don't. These items will become more valuable than gold, and if you're prepared, you won't just survive, you'll thrive. 1. Bulletproof vests. When chaos erupts and lawlessness takes over, staying alive becomes your top priority. In a world where threats can come from anywhere, looters, desperate survivors, or even organized gangs, protection is non-negotiable. A bulletproof vest isn't just gear, it's a second chance at life. Preppers understand that when the rule of law crumbles, being defenseless isn't an option. Those who are prepared will walk away. Those who aren't, they won't get a second chance. 2. Heavy-duty clothing repair kits. When society collapses, new clothes won't just appear on store shelves, they'll be a luxury of the past. Every rip, every tear could mean exposure to the elements, infection, or worse. A heavy-duty clothing repair kit isn't just about sewing, it's about survival. Preppers know that in a world where supplies are scarce, keeping your gear intact is a necessity, not an option. Those who can repair their clothing will endure. Those who can't, they'll be left vulnerable to the cold, the rain, and the harsh new reality. 3. Collapsible water storage bags. When the taps stop running, water becomes the ultimate survival asset. Without a way to store it, even the cleanest supply will slip through your fingers. A full reservoir today could mean life or death tomorrow. Preppers understand that once water becomes scarce, those who can collect and transport it will have the upper hand. These collapsible storage bags aren't just containers, they're liquid survival. The ones who have them will stay hydrated. The ones who don't, they'll be at the mercy of those who do. 4. Long-burning emergency candles. When the lights go out for good, darkness becomes your worst enemy. In a world without power, visibility means safety, and those left in the dark are the first to fall. Preppers understand this reality, which is why they stockpile long-burning emergency candles. These aren't just for convenience, they provide warmth, light, and security when the grid collapses. Whether you're rationing fuel or trying to stay unseen, a steady, reliable flame can mean the difference between survival and vulnerability. 5. Emergency fishing nets. When food supplies vanish and hunting becomes a gamble, survival comes down to one thing: a reliable food source. We understand the value of emergency fishing nets because they turn any body of water into an opportunity. Unlike rods that rely on luck, nets work around the clock, capturing multiple fish with minimal effort. Preppers know that in a crisis, efficiency is everything, and those who can gather food without wasting energy will outlast the rest. 6. Survival seed vault. Imagine a world where grocery stores are empty and food isn't just scarce, it's gone. In that reality, the ability to grow your own food isn't a luxury, it's survival. A well-stocked survival seed vault with heirloom non-GMO seeds means the difference between starvation and self-sufficiency. Preppers know that those who control food will control everything. And with the right seeds, you'll have the power to sustain yourself long after supplies run dry. 7. Activated charcoal. When the world around you turns toxic, every breath and every sip of water becomes a gamble. Contaminated air and polluted water won't just make you sick, they'll take you down fast. Preppers understand that activated charcoal is a lifeline, capable of filtering out deadly toxins and purifying essentials for survival. Whether the threat is chemical exposure, unclean water, or food contamination, those who have it will live, those who don't, won't. 8. Camouflage tarps. In a world where danger lurks around every corner, staying hidden is just as important as staying alive. When chaos erupts, being seen could mean becoming a target. Camouflage tarps provide the cover you need, whether you're sheltering in the wilderness or concealing supplies from desperate scavengers. Preppers know that visibility is vulnerability, and those who blend into their surroundings will have the upper hand when survival depends on staying out of sight. 9. Steel wool and battery fire starters. When the cold bites and food won't cook itself, fire is survival. But in a crisis, the usual methods may fail. Wet matches, empty lighters, nothing but desperation. That's why steel wool and a simple battery become game changers, creating an instant, reliable spark when you need it most. Preppers know that without fire, there's no warmth, no clean water, no cooked meals, just a slow descent into darkness. 10. Survival food rations. Picture yourself in a world where food is scarce, and every calorie could mean the difference between life and death. In such a scenario, survival food rations, compact, high-calorie bars, become a lifeline, providing essential energy when full meals are no longer an option. Whether you're on the move or rationing supplies, these bars offer sustained strength and endurance, making them a must-have for anyone serious about survival. 11. Survival bicycles. When fuel runs out and vehicles become useless, mobility will mean survival. In a world where every step counts, a survival bicycle provides speed, endurance, and independence without relying on gas or electricity. Whether escaping danger, transporting supplies, or covering long distances, those who have one will outrun chaos, while those on foot are left behind. 12. Non-electric grain mill. When store-bought food is gone, raw grains will be all that's left, but only if you can process them. A non-electric grain mill turns wheat, rice, and corn into survival fuel, providing flour for bread and sustenance when industrial food production collapses. Preppers know that without one, stockpiled grains are useless, and those who can't grind their own food won't last long. 13. Folding solar oven. When fuel runs out and fire becomes a risk, cooking without flames will be a survival game changer. A folding solar oven harnesses the sun's energy, allowing you to prepare meals without gas, wood, or electricity. Whether you're baking, boiling, or purifying water, this silent, smokeless solution ensures you stay fed without drawing unwanted attention. Because in a crisis, staying hidden is just as important as staying alive. 14. Collapsible rainwater collection system. Water is survival. Without it, nothing else matters. When taps run dry and bottled supplies vanish, collecting rainwater will be the only reliable source. A collapsible rainwater collection system ensures you can capture and store every drop, keeping you hydrated when others are desperate. Those who control water will control survival, because in a crisis, water isn't just life, it's power. 15. Rechargeable hand warmers. When the cold sets in and temperatures drop, staying warm isn't just about comfort, it's about survival. Frostbite and numb fingers can make even simple tasks impossible, leaving you vulnerable in harsh conditions. Rechargeable hand warmers provide lasting heat without relying on open flames or disposable fuel, keeping your hands functional when you need them most. In freezing conditions, warmth is the difference between survival and suffering. 16. Portable water desalination kit. When fresh water becomes scarce, survival depends on turning the undrinkable into the drinkable. Ocean water, brackish ponds, and contaminated sources won't sustain you unless you can purify them. A portable water desalination kit removes salt and toxins, transforming undrinkable water into a life-saving resource. In a crisis, those who can create clean water will outlast those who can't. 17. Pocket chainsaw. When survival demands building shelter, clearing paths, or gathering firewood, a weak blade won't cut it, literally. A pocket chainsaw delivers raw power in a compact form, slicing through thick branches and logs with ease. Unlike bulky tools, it's lightweight, efficient, and works without fuel or batteries. In a world where every second and every resource counts, having the right tool can mean the difference between thriving and struggling. 18. Survival spear. When danger is everywhere and every resource is dwindling, having a weapon that never runs out of ammo is a game changer. A survival spear offers both defense and hunting capability, allowing you to protect yourself and secure food without relying on bullets. Lightweight, silent, and deadly, it's a tool that has stood the test of time. When the world turns hostile, those with the right weapons will stand a fighting chance. 19. Thermal emergency bivy sacks. Facing the cold without proper insulation is like walking into a storm without shelter. It's a slow, deadly mistake. A thermal emergency bivy sack traps body heat, shielding you from freezing temperatures and harsh conditions. Lightweight and compact, it offers life-saving warmth when blankets and fires aren't an option. When the temperature drops, those without protection won't last long. 20. Wind-up survival watch. When technology fails and digital clocks go dark, keeping track of time becomes a matter of survival. A wind-up survival watch functions without batteries, ensuring you can measure daylight, coordinate movements, and track essential tasks. In a crisis, losing time means losing control, and those who can't manage it will quickly fall behind. 21. Collapsible fishing traps. When food supplies are gone and desperation sets in, finding a steady food source will be the difference between survival and starvation. Collapsible fishing traps work day and night, catching multiple fish with minimal effort while you focus on other survival tasks. Unlike a rod, they don't rely on patience, just smart preparation. In a crisis, those who can gather food efficiently will have the upper hand. 22. Survival water bladder backpack. When every drop of water matters, having a hands-free way to carry it can mean the difference between strength and exhaustion. A survival water bladder backpack ensures you stay hydrated on the move, allowing you to cover more ground without constantly stopping to drink. In a crisis, mobility and hydration go hand in hand, and those who can't keep moving won't last long. 23. Books on survival skills. When disaster strikes and technology fails, knowledge becomes your greatest weapon. Books on survival skills hold the answers to building shelter, finding food, and staying alive when there's no one left to help. Whether it's first aid, navigation, or self-defense, the right information can mean the difference between thriving and perishing. Because in a crisis, those who know more survive longer. 24. Snake bite kit. In the wild, one wrong step can turn deadly. A venomous bite can leave you immobilized with no hospital in sight and time working against you. A snake bite kit gives you a fighting chance, helping to slow the spread of venom and buy precious time. Whether trekking through dense forests or dry deserts, having the right tools can mean the difference between survival and a fatal mistake. 25. Survival compound bow. When silence is key and resources are scarce, having a weapon that doesn't rely on bullets is a game changer. A survival compound bow offers precision, power, and reusable ammunition, making it an essential tool for both hunting and defense. In a world where every shot counts, those who master the bow will have a reliable way to secure food and protect what's theirs. 26. Heavy-duty Zippo lighters. When fire becomes a necessity, having a reliable way to spark a flame is everything. Heavy-duty Zippo lighters offer durability, wind resistance, and a refillable design, ensuring you're never left in the cold. Whether for warmth, cooking, or survival signaling, a dependable flame can mean the difference between life and death. Because in a crisis, fire isn't just a tool, it's survival itself. 27. Silicone collapsible cooking pots. When space is limited and every ounce matters, bulky cookware isn't an option. Silicone collapsible cooking pots provide a lightweight, durable solution, allowing you to prepare meals without taking up valuable pack space. Whether boiling water or cooking food, having the right gear ensures you can stay nourished. Because in a survival situation, efficiency and preparation mean everything. 28. Bear-proof food containers. When food becomes scarce, keeping what you have safe is just as important as finding it. Bear-proof food containers protect your supplies from wildlife and desperate scavengers, ensuring that your rations stay intact. Whether in the wilderness or a crisis zone, securing your food can mean the difference between survival and starvation, because once it's gone, there's no getting it back. 29. Hand-operated grain sifter. When food supplies run low, processing raw ingredients efficiently will be the key to survival. A hand-operated grain sifter removes debris, husks, and impurities, ensuring that stored grains are clean and ready for consumption. Whether grinding flour or preparing seeds for planting, having the right tools means the difference between sustenance and waste. Because in a crisis, every grain counts. 30. Industrial strength nitrile gloves. When contamination spreads and infections run rampant, protecting your hands becomes a survival necessity. Industrial strength nitrile gloves shield against chemicals, bacteria, and hazardous materials, keeping you safe during medical care, food prep, and cleanup. In a world where exposure can be deadly, having a protective barrier can mean the difference between staying healthy and falling victim to unseen dangers. 31. Collapsible siphon pump. When fuel and clean water become scarce, getting every last drop from available sources will be critical. A collapsible siphon pump allows you to transfer liquids efficiently, whether it's fuel for generators or water for survival. In a crisis, wasting resources isn't an option, and those who can move and store supplies effectively will have the upper hand. 32. Portable toilet or supplies for makeshift sanitation. When infrastructure collapses, sanitation isn't just about comfort, it's about survival. Without proper waste disposal, disease spreads fast, turning a crisis into a death sentence. Stockpiling a portable toilet or sanitation supplies ensures a hygienic solution, protecting both health and dignity. In a world where infections thrive in filth, those who stay clean will stay alive. 33. Solar-powered motion detector alarms. When security becomes a matter of life and death, early warning systems can make all the difference. Solar-powered motion detector alarms alert you to movement before danger reaches your doorstep, whether it's intruders, wildlife, or looters. In a world where threats lurk in the shadows, having an extra set of eyes on your perimeter can mean the difference between safety and catastrophe. 34. Biodegradable soap and shampoo sheets. When clean water is limited and hygiene becomes a struggle, staying clean isn't just about comfort, it's about survival. Biodegradable soap and shampoo sheets provide an efficient, waste-free way to wash up, preventing infections and maintaining health even in the harshest conditions. In a world where disease spreads fast, proper hygiene can mean the difference between resilience and ruin. 35. LED headlamps. When the world goes dark, having both hands free can be the difference between action and helplessness. LED headlamps provide bright, reliable illumination without tying up your hands, making critical tasks like repairs, navigation, and defense far easier. In a survival situation, being able to see clearly while staying mobile can mean the difference between control and chaos. 36. Fireproof and waterproof document bag. When disaster strikes, losing critical documents can mean losing everything. A fireproof and waterproof document bag protects passports, deeds, and emergency cash, ensuring that your identity and assets survive any catastrophe. In a crisis, the ability to prove who you are and access vital information could be the key to rebuilding your future. 37. Heavy-duty signal mirror. When you're stranded or lost, getting noticed can mean the difference between rescue and being forgotten. A heavy-duty signal mirror uses sunlight to send distress signals over long distances, cutting through the isolation of a crisis. In an emergency, visibility is survival, and those who can make themselves seen stand the best chance of making it out alive. 38. Antifungal foot powder. When you're constantly on the move, neglecting your feet can lead to infection, pain, and even immobilization. Antifungal foot powder keeps moisture and bacteria at bay, preventing blisters, rashes, and debilitating conditions in harsh environments. In a survival situation, staying on your feet isn't optional. It's the only way to keep going. 39. Multi-use emergency blanket. When exposed to harsh conditions, maintaining body heat can be the difference between survival and disaster. A multi-use emergency blanket helps retain warmth, provides shelter, and can even serve as a ground cover or signal device. Lightweight and compact, it's an essential tool for staying protected in unpredictable environments. 40. Emergency dental kit. When medical care is out of reach, a simple toothache can escalate into a serious, even life-threatening problem. An emergency dental kit allows you to treat infections, broken teeth, and severe pain, preventing minor issues from becoming debilitating. In a survival situation, ignoring dental health is a risk you can't afford to take. How prepared are you, really? If you don't have at least half of these survival essentials, you're already falling behind. When the next crisis hits, there won't be time to gather supplies, and relying on others will be a dangerous mistake. Water, food, protection? These aren't luxuries, they're the difference between survival and desperation. Now is the time to take action. If you think something important is missing from this list, drop it in the comments, because knowledge and preparation are the only advantages that matter. Stay ahead of the chaos by subscribing. It's completely free and keeps you one step ahead of any emergency. Most importantly, don't keep this information to yourself. Share it with the people you care about, because when everything collapses, the only thing stronger than preparedness is a community that's ready. Stay aware, stay prepared, and stay alive.